Alright, one part I'm not going to be able to record for you is the disassembly of this bracket. There's some back parts to this power steering. That's one of the bolts you're going to have to get out. Right there, I'm going to put an arrow now. That bolt has to be taken out. So this pump is held in by 4 bolts, not the 3 in the front like normal Chevy. That's okay. Well, but I can't record that, so we'll get that off now. Alright, the last bolt behind the power steering pump is an absolute monster, and I had to use an open-end wrench to get to. Yeah, it wasn't pretty. Good time to get your bungee cord ready, because you're going to have to bungee cord that. It just needs to be out of the way. That's all. When you're taking out a motor, you always ditch your accessories off to the side so you can pull your motor. No difference here, same thing. Alright, well, I can get that tied up, and then we'll continue disassembly. So we're going to hit the lower mount now. Now we can almost get to our timing chain cover. We're almost there. We're going to see what's behind door number 1. It's going to be nasty. All this to get to a poor timing chain cover. I think it's the 3 biggest bolts we've found so far in this rig. Ooh, motor moved there.
Okay, now I would drop it.
Last thing to come out of the way before we can actually start getting out that chain is going to be the tensioner here. And that is no easy feat, man. Let me tell you what. We've had to drop the motor, crowbar the engine, and hope this bolt isn't so long-winded it'll just come out. And survey says it's going to go. There we go, it's just out. Drop the mount out the bottom, and you're there. Fun, fun, folks. Okay, we're at our balancer now. Alright, we had to get creative here. We had some hardware bolts to fit the thread here. Power steering pump bolt, at least the long one that goes through, you can use, and 2 hardware bolts. Pretty much with this, if you don't do this right, bad things will happen. I see a lot of people, they don't put nothing behind there, and I'll get a picture of that now. But where you put the original bolt back through, because it is your strongest bolt, and use that as your force to press against. And I'll show you that now. Hear that chain now? Okay, so I'm gonna have to find some way to bind this up. Where is the crowbar? Alright, we're almost there. There we go. No thread damage of any type. And that's how you do one of these. Works on Chevy 350. It'll work on a Chevy 22. You can tell that the front oil seal definitely been leaking for a while. And someone smart star put RTV here. But it isn't checked. But I did hear some timing chain noise in there spinning this, so something bad happened. So what we're going to do is we're going to pull the oil pan bolts in the front. Now if you have a small enough socket,
studs, but yeah.
well, we're going to pull the studs. And if you have a small enough socket, you can get them out. That way you don't have to, you only have to do the front part of the seal. You don't have to actually reseal the whole oil pan, which is what we're trying to avoid. Because we can seal it up with RTV. It's a very tight fit anyway. Okay, after that, we should be able to get this timing cover off and see what's behind the barn door number 1. Here, look at. Whoa, we got chunks. Oh, we got chunks. We got bad chunks.
Oh, shit.
I'm just gonna sit here and pause for a moment. I don't even know what to think about this. Like, I think the oil pan's gonna have to come down and be inspected because we had chunk fall out. Oh, wait, I found the chunk. That's the dampener, buddy. Dampener went, bound the chain, the torque from it just tore it up. So there was your noise. Oh, the motor's gonna have to be retimed. Well, you can get that out of the way, it's bad. We're gonna have to pull the bottom gear off because I got ate up. So what we're going to do for this motor, we're actually going to time it up before we tear it apart. And the bottom crank gear should be at 12 o'clock and the top should be at 6. This isn't one of those weird motors, say like a Chevy 305, that puts the cam at 12 and 12. It's kind of a weird setup, but I guess it worked. But yeah, definitely some carnage here. One of these parts you may have to go out to the junkyard for. This piece right here, it's supposed to be a chain dampener. It's supposed to be a piece right here, and it's gone, and I know it's in the oil pan. So this job just got more interesting. Alright, well, we're going to give our customer a call, tell them they're going to need a buttload of parts, and real soon. Oil pan's going to have to come down because we got to inspect it for parts, because unfortunately if you have a timing chain explode like this, all the parts, they always end up in the oil pan and you don't get them. Well, you put all this back together and about a month goes by and one day just the motor seizes because of the fact you got metal in there and it's, you know, got plugged up in the oil screen. So on the next episode, we'll be taking down the oil pan and getting this thing rebuilt. If you like what you've seen so far, we'd love you to subscribe, click like, and we'll see you next time.